Welcome to the Heart of the Valley podcast with your host, Cristina Cavallaro, recorded from the historic Bank of Italy building, home of the independent newspaper in downtown Livermore, where we will bring you conversations and perspectives from the hearts and minds of the people who make up the Tri-Valley.
Welcome, everybody, to the Heart of the Valley podcast in downtown Livermore in the amazing, historic Bank of Italy building that was purchased by Joan and Lynn Seppala in 1991 and just basically refurbished to its original beauty. We're very lucky to be here. I'm very lucky to be here with two of our local treasures. Artist, internationally acclaimed artist, Ghada Jamal, very talented local artist and educator, Jamal Iacono. You both are a gift to us.
Good to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here. Today we're going to be talking about the art of collaboration, literally, figuratively. The literal is because we're surrounded by this amazing collaboration that you both discovered you had a gift for. Brushed by the Light is the perfect title for that. And we'll get into that more. But I think when people realize you've been painting on the same canvas and you've actually sort of created one artistic identity, you come from two completely different parts of the world, different generations, different ways of thinking. I mean, it's pretty amazing. So I had some curiosities about a little bit about what life was like for you. Like if we had a little snapshot of, life for Ghada on a Saturday when you were, 10 or 11,
Yeah.
Where was it, and what would you be doing?
I was born in Beirut, and my brother used to paint. So I used to watch him. I would sit on the couch and watch him paint. And he plays the clarinet. So also I would listen to him. And if he is not playing, he would put the record player. And there would be some classical music and some Fairuz music. So, and I watch him, paint, and he was never satisfied. He was always so angry that his work is no good. So I knew it's about torture. So my regular days, we didn't have much, we had a home, but we didn't have money or, to go vacations or anything like that, If our treat was to go to the mountains, to my aunt, who has a beautiful home. I mean, it's similar to that kind of thing with painting on the ceiling and, it was done by an Italian architect, So it's really a beautiful home with baccarat, crystal, like it's something we don't know, and china, So it was nice. That was a treat. And orchards, as much as you want, you can eat apples and grapes and figs and stuff like that, whatever you want.
That is what I see in you. You are a very romantic person. At the Bothwell, you walked me outside and you pointed out to those lemon trees across the street.
Yes, takes the lemon.
You made us dolmas from grape leaves that belong to the neighbor.
Yeah.
I just envision you tripping around,
It's such a treat, because we lived in the city and we don't have that,
I love that. John, what about you?
Yeah, mine's very similar to Ghada. Well, I grew up in Livermore, and in this area, it wasn't what it is now. It was very small towns. Everybody knows everybody. We're together. I've always known in my heart, um, from even my early years, there was something about the way the art made me feel, even when I made lines on a paper, you know. And Paul Klee, right? You know, we're gonna take this line for a walk, right? This is a famous quote. I'm gonna take a line for a walk. This is amazing to me that something so, easy, taking a pen on a piece of paper, how much it makes you feel, you know. So when growing up in a family that, my mother was into opera, and my grandfather he fought in the war, but, jazz records everywhere, and, bright red carpets from Italy, just the grandfather clocks, and I just knew that I had this painting in my spirit. And even now, painting, what we do, I just take thumbtacks, a big canvas paper, tack it on the wall, and just go. Paint's dripping on the carpet, this is going here and there, and, and I wouldn't say that I wasn't getting in trouble, but, we were getting in trouble for this. But my room was covered. Every square inch of my room as a child was covered with art. Colors, pictures, lines, shapes, and music. I was just, the way both of them go together, it's just this, it's a dance, so it's never gone away.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I always sort of wonder, for some people, art, well, I don't know, I'm not going to put words into your mouth, but art is a form of expression, art is a form of survival, art is a form of creating beauty. And John has said to me before, in your collaboration, being out working outside with your canvases, when you started working on this project, that he said that you were running for some of your life. What?
Yeah. Well,
what
we
can
had lots of problems in Lebanon, in the 70s, 75. We had the, civil war, but I was in United States by then. And then when I went back in the 80s, well, it was still going on. And that's when I entered university, to get my degree. I had an AA, in business, so to change into art. So the university was the safe place, because there was bombing, and it was, if there is bombing or something, well, we stayed at the university and we painted there. So you could say, like, painting rescued me, from all that, what is going on, especially because I was really a devastated person. I had divorce, and my son wasn't with me, and so I had nothing, and it's like I started life from the beginning with art, and I was lucky that my teachers, and professors and whatever said, "Oh, you are so good," So I was in the right place where I was appreciated, not knowing why, but also running from the bombs.
Yeah. And your work, I've seen, before we get to your collaborative work, but your individual work, it's so much beauty and pain.
Yeah. Yeah, we experienced so much in the Middle East, from the Civil War. I painted the Civil War. After the Civil War, I thought, okay, I'll do landscape. No more. I made my peace with the Civil War. I forgave, I forgot. I started a new chapter. And then the Iraq War started, and then after that, what happened in Palestine, and what happened in Syria, what happened in, just like keep following. They wouldn't leave me alone, So in between, I had to paint about these things.
Yes, I would imagine. Place to put your emotion.
Yeah.
And John, I've never met another person whose emotions are so readily available or close to the surface. I've always felt that about you. Like, not everybody can see his eyes are these very, very deep blue eyes. We talk about it a lot. Many people do, but they just are very emotive and emotional. And you've had a ton of hardship in your life as well. I mean, I know of your car accident. That's
Yeah.
it's just incredible. Can you tell us a little bit about that, and then what art?
Yeah,
It's
you
done for
know, the palette of my life, just in general, I knew that if I could just get even just half of what Ghada had. I mean, in school, and I studied, and I got my AA, I got my bachelor's, I went and I got my, art history, and then I went back, got computer science, and went to the New York Film Academy, and I was teaching at the New York Film Academy, and this was just this amazing world, right? Like, I didn't come from terrible hardships of running from the war, right? We have different kind of hardships here, and my accident, yes, it was tough. I was thrown from a vehicle, it landed on me, and I've had every multiple surgery you can think of on my heart. I have stents, I've had surgeries, I basically broke my neck off my body. But amongst these things, I knew that in my journey for where I'm at, I've always been so true to myself, and I've been running in a certain way that's like, we've had these conversations a lot about the artist is trying to tell you something, right? It's almost like as an artist, we're trying to heed a warning to the world, like, hey, check this out, look at this. Life can be this beautiful. We harness these superpowers as artists, like the way color hits something, the way something drapes, the way an emotion makes you feel. And these kind of things are what is where I went, especially when I was in tune to Ghada's vibe, because her frequency was everything I read in the books in art school. Oh, the artist, tormented, running from the war, sadness, their muses in their life, and all these things. And this was just so amazing to me. And Ghada was just a normal person I met. And it was like, this person's lived and breathed things that I've been reading about, things that I've wanted to study, things that I want to know about. And this connection from being in your art, this is where it went for me. So, to break that down into an hour conversation.
I know.
Yeah.
You both, thank you.
Yeah.
I knew that was not going to be easy. Well, I want to now get into where you merged and became one person and one artist. And actually, this is a good pausing point to say this first collaboration, wouldn't have happened were it not for another collaboration, which was between the independent publisher, Joan Seppala, and Angie and Cola from Livermore Valley Arts. They had a little mind meld and were like, oh, hey, we can open up the independent and we can showcase and extend the artwork and the talent that's happening at the Bankhead Gallery. So that was the first kicker.
Yeah. Oh, and my mother worked for the Independent. Yeah. So growing up as a kid, I rolled the Independent and I threw this to people's doors. Did it? Yes. We're talking about
Local boy does good.
Late at night.
Yeah. That's right.
It's like, Mom, why are you throwing Independent?
On your Huffy.
We're gonna make money. We're gonna put the Independent out there.
I love that.
I remember this as a kid.
Oh my God.
So
Well, now you're doing it again.
To be sitting in this building is really out of body. So
same. I grew up here too, and it was my local paper. And now we're here and we're doing this. It's a full circle, very beautiful moment. Well, let's talk about, can you talk a little bit now about this body of work and how this came to be and how you created Jamal Iacono and who that is?
Okay. When I came to Pleasanton, I joined Bothwell, okay, in Livermore. And I always, between shows, I paint landscape. Okay, so I start like painting the hills and stuff like that. You know, I had a show here at the Bankhead, and I think that's after that I met John, and I was working at that time on my series, you know, for Lebanon and for the gallery in Lebanon, and I was working with liquid paint and working from imagination, you know, not from photograph or anything like that, or not on site.
Very abstract, right?
Very abstract. And John, you know, was there and he's teaching, you know, and he approached me and he said, you know, wouldn't you like to go to fresh air and paint? I said, yeah, sure. I would like that, you know. Yeah, that would be nice, you know, to do that. I would like that. As long as you pick the place, you know.
And carry the stuff.
I carry the stuff
Yeah,
and
yeah,
all
I
that.
know.
And I'll paint. I'll paint with you. Sure, I would love to do that. That would be nice. I love to do that.
Well, you know, I was on a waiting list to get in the
Yeah.
brothel for 10 years.
Yeah.
And when after my accident, I would just walk around the block because they said, "Oh, it was hard to walk." But I just walk around the block, and I would walk by the brothel, and I could see all these artists in there. So, what a dream! I don't have to paint in my room and spill paint all over the carpet. And maybe one day, after studying art for all these years, and I would just see them in there painting. And when we would get in there, this is the person's studio that I'm next to, right? This is Ghada Jamal. So you could just tell the universe is like, you know, you don't make this stuff up. You just you either approach it or it just passes you by. And I have a chameleon on my back, a tattoo, because my whole life people were like, you're a chameleon. You just go, you're in all these groups, you're everywhere. It's like, you know, nobody's, you're not afraid to approach people. And I did the same thing with God. I saw something in her. I felt like we were connected in a way. And when we first met for this thing, I was like, I knew we've got to paint outside. I have to paint outside with her. I just knew it in my heart.
And then you entered a plein air
Yeah.
contest.
Livermore's plein air.
Livermore's
Yeah.
plein air.
Yeah.
And it was a single origin
Yes.
competition.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like most of the galleries,
Yeah.
one person paints and
Okay.
enters one.
So you made up a name.
Yes, I did. I signed a name on the back. That
And-
name is Jamal Iacono.
Jamal Iacono.
Well, I think originally it was just John and Ghada is what I put on there. Because
Yeah.
when they called and said that we won the competition, they said John and Ghada. So there's like Ghada's here to get this, but I thought you were gonna pick it up.
Yeah.
After they said, well, we don't really know what to do with this because
Yeah.
nobody's ever done this before.
Yeah.
so they win first place. And now, now, a year later, year and a half, how long did
Year and a half.
A year
Yeah.
and a half. I mean, you have to come to the gallery to see this. It's incredible work. They literally, you're rolling these canvases out into the woods.
Yeah, we gesso
Together.
it out. We take it outside, throw it in the woods. You know, Ghada paints on her knees like me. We just get it down, and we just start the ink and start the process.
And tell me what the content is for people
Yeah,
who aren't
so-
here.
So, well, I mean, we're trying to paint the hills of Livermore.
Protected
And
hills.
by the way, it has to be on the ground because they are big. It will fly if if the canvas is standing. So put it on the ground, and we started doing the same thing what I was doing in my series for Lebanon. And we'll put that liquid paint, and he'll work on the top. I'll work on the bottom.
You know, and she paints with her hands like this too.
Yeah.
She does just talk this way. When the
Yeah.
paint goes down, it's
It's like
whoosh,
that, and
makes the sound effects.
and I can't help it. You know, I'm all the time talking, and I'm always saying, "Oh, look how beautiful that is! Look at that color!
She
Look
said,
how
look at what
it's
you've done
going.
here. Look at what you've done here.
Look how
I'm like, I
beautiful
don't
that
know
is.
what I
Look how
did here."
beautiful that. I mean, I can tell. You know, like there are so many beautiful things. You know, because the paint is mixing almost on its own, and then we switch places, and
It's
then
like a dance.
yes, that's what John says. It's a dance, like between, you know, his side and my side, you know, then we switch, then we work, and then we bring it, because of the sun, you can't stay more than 5 hours. Then we come to the studio and
Well,
we
and don't
finish it.
forget, you're not just painting the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
So she's bringing, here, we got a full fresh brewed coffee. Sit down, have your coffee. Okay, here's your Lebanese cakes and cookies. Now have your little treats. Let's eat lunch. We'll come back. Let it breathe.
Food is very important to me.
Can you imagine being in the Livermore Valley Hills, a place that I grew up, a place that I loved so much that I never understood to appreciate? Can you imagine you're out there with a storybook ending of you've been studying these amazing artists and books your whole life, and now you're sitting with someone that most people in the town don't know, and you're going to sit there and you're going to drink black coffee and talk about art? Like, I feel like I've gone to heaven. This is it. We are here. We're already there.
Anyone, secret of Livermore is if you can get a chance to pop into the Bothwell Art Center and just be a fly on the wall. These conversations are happening all the time there.
Yeah.
They're so exciting.
We talk all the time.
And eat.
And we have
we
lunch
gotta eat.
Yeah, there's a lot of eating.
every
you gotta
day.
have the critique, right? The critique.
And the critique, of course, so we have that.
Well, you told them what your name is about the critique, right?
The magician?
Yeah, the magician.
Yeah, they call me the magician.
She comes in and then
like
she's
I'm a witch,
She goes like this with her hand.
I've seen it.
And then she goes like this. I know what we have to do. There we go.
There it is.
So, I mean,
It's
this
settled.
is years of
Yeah.
studying line, composition, color, the theory behind this.
And now you're teaching this collaboration
Yes.
to others.
Yes, we're doing that. We had one.
Yep.
That was a month ago? 2
Sycamore
months
Grove.
ago?
Well, we kicked off the plein air for this year because they
Yeah.
said they were so excited about the plein air, about the collaboration. They had
Yes.
never heard about this before. And when they said, we would love for you guys to maybe teach people how you do it. And we don't have any egos in this. Like, we'll show anybody anything they want to know. This is what I've
I
learned.
mean, it's a pleasure to show people what you know. I think it's the moral thing to do. That's what my son says. He hates it when I say that's what my son said. But we talk about that, like artists that they're stingy, and they don't tell you anything. Well, I'll tell you everything. Whatever you want to know, I will tell you with my knowledge. Whatever I know, I'll tell you. Why not?
Well, and John says a lot of people kind of see these paintings and want to think that this is a big secret, that
Yeah.
there's some grand
Yeah.
mystery, but
Well, they think it's a big grand mystery, but just a 2-second thing on this is that you don't have to have natural talent to be an artist or a musician or anything. When you walk out the door and you're a human in your life, you don't have to have natural talent. This is a studied form. If you put your heart and soul into it, you are going to put good content out. People tell me all the time, "Oh, it's such natural talent. It's so beautiful, man." But you didn't see 25 years of failure. There's been 25, 30 years of fail. It's torturous. Painting's tough. It's difficult. It's still showing up. It's telling yourself, being kind, showing back up to the canvas, working through it.
Being honest.
Being honest. That's the biggest thing.
If you are not honest, how you're gonna learn? And if you're not honest, how you're gonna teach?
And you don't wake up to all of a sudden I have a style, I'm a thing,
Oh,
or I paint like
no.
this.
No.
You paint from your heart. You paint from what
Yeah.
you feel. You learn from other people. I mean, Picasso said all art is theft. We learn from others.
Right.
And you take it in and you understand the process. And I've just attached myself to Ghada, and through the process of these paintings, even if we just touched one person's life in art that felt that way that I felt, just one person, then I feel like I understand, because the way she touched my life, then I can touch someone else's. And this is what it's about, right? This is the connection. That's the collaboration.
That's what it is all about.
and that's powerful to me too, because that's what's so beautiful is what is on the canvas and what's off the canvas. Your impact is just huge. in that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
And a lot of pain and a lot of happiness. It's both. It's all of it.
You've put it in. And what do you think? I guess the question, is there anything you intended for people to feel when
Well,
they
when
see these?
I just want to say, I know you have something to say about that, but one of the biggest things that I took from this is the reason why it's brushed by light is because I was enamored how Ghada, she approaches the canvas and cuts in light pieces in all these little spots. Like, let's put a little spot here, a little light here, a little, and all of a sudden she's using her brush and just creating light that wasn't there. So it was just like, you can literally paint the light in things. And then all of a sudden, you're painting the light in other people's life when they look at these paintings, because you could drive by the hills every day and just see a hill. And the hills, they're, this is the figure, this is the body, this is the movement, this is the stuff that you study in the landscape. It's so organic. And so the brushing by light, this is it, right?
Yeah.
This is what it's about.
Yeah.
What would you say about that?
Well, I was talking to Paula the other day, and she was asking me a question about this painting, and I think the most important thing, of course, to show the beauty, to be honest, and to show the process. So when people look at it, they can see how it was made if they look carefully. They could see how all the layers, you can see the history of it. It's not covered. You can see the breathing between one layer and another, and you see how it is made. And since we make it, when we are making it, we're making it with love, because we're always saying, look how beautiful that is. Look how beautiful. We can't do that. It's the paint who did that. If we stay all your life to do this, you cannot do that. The paint did it. So it's that appreciation of the material or what it can do, and to take it, that's the gift that the canvas is giving you, and it's leading you, to continue your painting. So there is lots of love, and we want people to see that beauty, that love, of the material, of the hills, of the light, of the color,
We
and all
do.
that.
And don't get it wrong. I mean, like, we are two separate artists. We have two different backgrounds in life, but when I'm working very soft, it's just how I work. And she's very bold. She has these strokes, and I'm trying to learn her bold strokes. She's trying to learn my softness. So when she shows up, she's taking some of me. I try to take some of her. So I think this person that we create, it's like, we're dancing. She's playing music. I'm playing with her music. And then I play some music. She plays with my music. This is kind of the jazz feel, right? The orientation behind, like, if I go out there on that dance floor by myself, will you come out there and dance with me? Yeah, I'll come out there and dance with you, because we both feel the same thing that the music's giving us. And that's what these canvases are doing. So this softness in the background, and then these bold strokes in the front. And I have to tell you, I'm just as enamored by the same thing when I make strokes and I work with her. These paintings blow me away too. I don't look at the work and go like, this is just my work, this is my ego, and this is what I do. This is the beauty that you get from this. This is like your heartstrings, right?
It's your heartstrings. Well, and for me, I was very touched by a comment that you were moved by, Ghada. You were moved by, from your collection, shared perspective, that that someone said that the content was Beirut. I thought that was so beautiful, that they saw the past, the present, and the future.
And that was
got chills.
That
And
was
this is
like,
what I see.
can't believe it. Somebody said that.
Yep.
And you could see that.
You can see it all
we
around.
want it to be like eternal. Well,
It's timeless.
I can tell you a secret about these painting too, that people maybe struggle, artists, which is with modern art, we don't paint the local color. If you follow the local color, you're gonna drown, okay? You have to hype it. You have to pick a color that is stronger than the local color. Viridian green is not in nature. okay?
Right.
So you have to pick that color, but you have to keep the same value so it looks like a tree and it looks like a hill. That is the secret, guys.
That's it.
You've heard it here.
That's it.
Oh, thank you again for being, we should say, the first in the Independent, the first for the Heart of the Valley podcast. We'll be back for more.
What an amazing building to be able to come in here and enjoy open space that is still timeless to the town, right? So you can go
Yes.
anywhere, but to get these paintings, we never envisioned that we're going to paint a gallery and we're going to put it up somewhere and have some big thing. We painted because
What did the experience?
the first 6 or 7 paintings, we just painted and be like, hey, you want to paint again? It was like, I think we should go on another date. You know, we should go out and do this again.
Yeah.
And the coffee and the food
And the
the
chemistry.
knowledge.
Amazing.
And you know, and it can make a mark, you know. But so yeah, just to be in this building, it's bigger than me, and that's what this is. It's all bigger than me.
It's bigger than all of us.